Hello, my name is Allison Adcock. I'm a translational neuroscientist and director of the Center for Cognitive Neuroscience in the Duke Institute for Brain Sciences. I'm here today to introduce and promote our talk occurring in March 17th from 1 to 5 p.m. as part of our distinguished lecture series. Dr. Eve Marder will be talking about neural circuits, development, plasticity, and function. Dr. Marder is one of the most influential neuroscientists of our time. What your perspective is on your contribution that you think is the most important for our scientific body of knowledge.
The first of the major ones, I think, is neuromodulation at the circuit level, and the notion that neuromodulators actually configure circuits into particular output patterns. One of the most important things that came out of that work and subsequent work is that every neuron in the circuit and every synapse in the circuit is potentially subject to modulation, and that modulators often work in concert or together, either as co-transmitters or as co-released in different behavioral circumstances. So rather than thinking of the circuit as being hardwired, one has to think about it being sort of a backbone of possibilities upon which the neuromodulatory environment works. It certainly is true that my brain works less well than it used to, but it actually works quite differently than the brains of the people in my lab. And there's something which is really worth talking about, which is that when I was in school, we had to remember things because, even if something was on reserve, you have to go to the library and read it and take notes. So there was a great requirement to remember things. But I'm talking about just remembering what you read. And I remembered all my data. For all those years when I was doing experiments, I remembered my data. And many of my younger students don't remember their data the way I used to. And they certainly don't remember what they've read the way I used to. And partly it's because there's no particular reason for them to remember it because it's all in their phone. But not remembering means you don't have it in the processor with which to reason and think. I think there's a tremendous advantage with having, everything in the phone.
Right.
Because you have all the world's knowledge at your fingertips. But what you don't have in your brain means you can't think with it.
Yeah.
And so there's this eerie trade-off. So I tell my students they have to decide to remember, and they look at me like I'm crazy. And I say, because you don't know what's in your phone if you don't remember it.